Hello, I think we're live. It should be working. This is a first time I've messed around with this, to be honest. First time I use StreamYard, so hopefully we're live and hopefully everything sounds okay. Um, just checking. People can let me know in the comments section as well. Let me know if everything's working properly as it should be. How's the sound quality and everything. Did a little check before the game, but obviously I was meant to go live how I would normally go live, but had other issues again once again with it. So slightly disappointing. Hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully people can hear this okay and everything's running smoothly. Yeah, we're going to get into it. Stockport County 2-0 win over Bristol Rovers. Brilliant result. Another win on the board. What's that now? 7 goals in League One, 0 goals conceded. Courier Die, 3 games in a row, another clean sheet. Absolutely brilliant, to be honest. That you're looking at this and you're thinking about how much of a tough start to the season County usually have, and how easy it's been so far for us, really. And I know in this game we kind of struggled a little bit early on, but in the end we made it fairly straightforward for ourselves, and it could even have been more as well with some of the chances we had. So yeah, really pleased with that, and I'd say I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. I said we'd win the game 3-0, so I expected us to win the game. I thought Bristol would be the toughest test we've had yet, but then I thought Blackpool were going to be a tough test, and they didn't prove to be that difficult to get past, really. Apart from again a difficult first half against Blackpool, but then Louis Barry, getting that goal set the tone, and we found it relatively easy from then on. Pretty much the same story today, really. Bristol probably had the better of the chances. Were probably the better team. Right up until Louis Barry got that goal for us, which seems to be getting us going at the moment. Louis Barry scored all three in all of County's got games so far this season in League One. Louis Barry scored the first goal in all of them, so he's certainly the man that gets us firing. It seems like once we get that one goal, we just seem to have the confidence to sort of control the game, and I think that's what happened today, and I think it happened against Blackpool as well. And obviously, it was a very early goal against Cambridge, so it's been a really good few weeks for Stockport County, apart from the Carabao Cup. You sort of look at it and think, Mansfield next week, is that going to be a test? Probably. It'd be funny, wouldn't it, if that's the toughest test we had yet is the team that was in the same league as us from last season. But Mansfield were a good team last season. I don't know how well they've started this season, but obviously we've always found it tricky going there. Um, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. Could have been a 4-3, 4-3. I'm guessing. Yeah, I was going to say not 4-3. A scrappy win, but at the end, a comfortable win. We kept a clean sheet, but Adai needs to cut the clowning about with risky stuff. Yeah, like he did in the first 10 minutes. I think that's just what you're going to get with Corey Adai. I think he's that kind of a character. I think he's that kind of a personality. I think he is someone that takes a lot of risks. We see it, in the sort of higher up leagues. We see it in the Premier League. Goalkeepers like that. Alisson at Liverpool, Edison at City. We see keepers now that show more personality, take risks. Sometimes you have your heart in your mouth. I think we're going to have that quite a few times this season with Corey Adai, but at times it seems to work. So yeah, I think it's something we're going to have to get used to. I don't think he's going to stop. I think he'll just continue doing that. But other than that, I think he's settled in really nicely, and I just wonder how Ben Hinchcliffe's finding it. Obviously, playing so many games for Stockport County over the last sort of however many seasons he's been at the club now, what 8 or 9, 10 seasons, to be sort of 3 league games in and sort of been on the bench for all three. Is this going to work going forward? I'm not too sure, but from a Corey Eye point of view, it's working really well. 3 clean sheets, like I say. I thought he did really well today as well, apart from as Nick said, the clown in the bout probably didn't help. But yeah, like I say, comfortable win. 2-0, I said it'd be 3-0. Cal Wotton scoring again, Louis Barry scoring again. We didn't get that Tanto goal off the bench like I predicted, but I mean, this is what I'm saying. We've still got a lot of injury problems. We've still got a lot of players ready to come back, and when you're looking at that game, today, and you see that Barry's coming off, and you can just bring Tanto Alafi on like that, a player that scored 20 odd goals last season in League Two. It just shows the quality that the squad's got, and if we can get the players, or most of the players, fit, we're gonna have a really good squad this season. And I think that's why I've always been confident that if we can get the best out of these players, which we did last season, then I can't see why we can't be in the top for the playoff places. But starting this well, we've got to relax because it is only 3 games in. But it's been a brilliant 3 games in. Like I said, I want to get people's thoughts on who they think should be man the match. For me, obviously Barry's got to be a contender with that. A really good goal again. Cal Wotton, decent header again. I mean, just it was more or less a tap in, really, wasn't it? The way Horsford just headed across centre of the goal for him to just tap it in. Really poorly defended that actually from Bristol. I was expecting Bristol to be a lot better defensively than they were. And I thought there was a chance with Scott Sinclair near the end where I thought they might have taken that chance, but it was just over the bar. So yeah, I think really County did have control over most of that game once we went 1-0 up, and like I say, you just wonder where's the challenge going to be, because I don't think we've really been up against it too much, apart from maybe those first few those first sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes, in the first half against Bristol today. I thought relatively, I think we're handling League One relatively well, and like I say, top of the league, 9 points on the board out of 9. So there's not really too much more you can ask for. And obviously Mansfield next week will be an interesting one, away from home. Man of the match for me was Cam's great energy and a lot of vital tackles won. Yeah, I mean, he's an interesting player, Cam Camps. I never really thought of him as being a really important player for County, but I think he kind of just got himself into the side sort of back end, second half of last season, and he's for me, he's a player that kind of goes under the radar a little bit, and but yeah, very important. I thought he did well today as well. What do people think of Oliver Norwood? Because that surprised me. I didn't think he was going to start the game so soon after signing. Obviously signed yesterday. We spoke about it on the channel. Him coming in, starting from the get-go. Was an interesting one. I want to get people's thoughts on how you thought he played. He had a few. He had one attempt on goal, didn't it, where it just went over the crossbar in the railway end. I thought he did all right. I don't think he particularly stood out in terms of. It wasn't clear that we had a Premier League player on the pitch, but it's early days, isn't it? It's his first game in a County shirt. Well, apart from the trialist game, but yeah. I'm excited. I am excited for to see this team, where we're going to go this season, how well we've started, and like I say, still got 8 or 9, 10 players ready to come back as well over the next few weeks, hopefully. I mean, Barry at the moment, again, it was another really good goal as well, I thought today. When's he going to stop scoring, and when's he going to stop scoring absolutely brilliant goals? Because at the moment it just looks never ending. In fact, I think he's probably started this season better than he started last season, which is frightening, because he started last season in incredible form. If we have a player like this, and fingers crossed he doesn't get injured again like he did last season, do we have to sort of evaluate or reevaluate where we think County will finish this season? Because you've got Wotton putting in the kind of performances he's putting in. You've got Alafi off the bench, who, I mean, most people would have Tanto Alafi starting as their striker in League One. I think some Championship teams would probably have him starting as their number one striker. So the fact we've even got him as an option off the bench at the moment, I know it's because he's not completely back to full fitness yet, but still, just the fact that we've got Wotton scoring, Barry scoring, and then Tanto coming off the bench, just shows, and then if we can get Michael Mellon back as well, get him involved, see what he's all about. Jaden Fevrier coming off the bench again today, showing a bit of quality. Had a volley just over the bar. So we've got some brilliant players, brilliant squad, and I think we're not just here to make up the numbers in League One. And I think I said that before the season anyway, but I think we're proving that as the weeks go on. Anyone know about how long Bate is out injured for? I hope it's not yet another long-term injury. Not too sure about that, to be honest. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. It surprised me when I didn't see him in the matchday squad at all. Rumours are he's injured. I'm not sure how long that'll be, what the injury is, but like you say, hopefully it's not too bad. Maybe they knew about this beforehand, and maybe that's why we did the deal for Oliver Norwood, because maybe they knew that he's going to be injured. That would worry me though, because maybe they know it's a long-term injury, and that's why they got Oliver Norwood done so quickly ahead of the game. So I don't know, that's speculation, I suppose, but yeah, I mean, interesting that Bate has picked up an injury. Apparently, Jay Mingy went down as well on the full-time whistle, which I didn't notice initially, but I read somewhere just after the game. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that's not too bad. He's been a player that's gone down a little bit already this season, Jay Mingy. So hopefully nothing to worry about too much. The same with Lewis Bate, because important players, we can't be having a season like last season again where players are getting injured left, right, and centre. That's not going to do us any good. I'm just trying to find something that I was going to mention. Yeah, so that came from Sam Byrne on Twitter saying that Mingy went down holding his hamstring, bang on the final whistle. One to keep an eye on. It certainly is. Doesn't sound good at all, that, to be honest. Another one as well. Our best start to an EFL season in 48 years. Interesting that. Um, but yeah, as I say, for injuries, I don't know what the situation is. Just want to say to everyone as well who's watching, don't forget to like the video as well and subscribe if you are new. Um, yeah, I mean, Mansfield's going to be an interesting one next week. Obviously, we'll do the preview for it. I'm not 100% sure if I'll be going to that one, to be honest. I think I might be busy. So, yeah, but one to keep an eye on, definitely. I mean, like I say, we've won, these games have been relatively comfortable for us so far. The challenge is going to come somewhere, and yeah, I think it's going to come against Mansfield. Like I said, I don't know exactly how well they've started the season, but yeah, they're a quality team from last season, and you would expect, like I say, the challenge is going to come somewhere. Today has been a bit easier than I think some people thought it was going to be. I think Bristol Rovers will feel a little bit disappointed, but they didn't show a better account of themselves because they're probably a better team than what they showed today. So, yeah, it's disappointing from their point of view, but as I say, 9 points on the board for us, 3 clean sheets, Louis Barry scoring for fun, Cal Wotton getting involved in the action again. Just looking like a solid team. Obviously, Horsfall, Ethan Pye at the back defending well. Ebal Torre's done well as well so far this season. Again, he splits opinion in the fan base. Some people rate him, some people don't. I think we're doing quite well. I know I've just said Jay Mingy went down with a hamstring issue, but I think he's settled in well in that sort of right centre back / right back position. He seems to sort of be a right back when in possession, and whoever's playing right wing will kind of push up, and then defensively, when we're out of possession, he seems to slot into a back three, go into that sort of right sided position, and that's where the right wing, that's where the right winger needs to come in a bit more and be a bit more defensive. That's why I think Jaden Fevrier suits that position a lot better than Jack Diamond at the moment. Great win, unexpected but not unwelcome. Yeah, 100%. I think you basically just nailed it there in a few words. Brilliant win. You know what? I say unexpected. I'm not too sure about that, because is that unexpected going into the season, or is that unexpected going into the game, today? Because I was confident going into today. If you said to me before ball was kicked this season that we'd win the first 3 league games, I would say that, yeah, that's unexpected. I'd say, well, first of all, I'd be checking what you're drinking, because our record early on in seasons over the last few years hasn't been great. It's been well documented that. So, yeah, unexpected. Not going into the game today, but going into the season possibly. But yeah, certainly not unwelcome. Like I say, you just wonder what County can put together this season. I said it in the preview. I mean, if we can get the majority of those players back fit again and have a squad to sort of choose from, it's going to give Dave Chandler a real squad selection headache, which is what the manager wants to be really in that position. As a manager, you want to be in a position where you are having a headache the day before game picking the team, because it means that you've got players available to pick from. When your hand's being forced to pick players and you're just sort of picking a team because that's all you've got left, and you're hoping that they can not get injured and also put in the quality performance that you're asking for. It's a lot more difficult. Well, unexpected for me. I'd have rated Bristol Rovers higher. Yeah, it's a fair point. I mean, I don't think they finished last season particularly that well, but I think they were confident. I think from what I've heard, they've made a few signs this summer. They're expecting to sort of climb up the table, so it's a fair point. But I'm happy to either be wrong or just have them have an off day. Yeah, I mean, like I say, they probably will have they're probably a better team than what they showed today. Like I said, just disappointing from their point of view. They made a long journey to County this morning, just to not really show anything, to not even get a goal. I think they'll be very disappointed with that. But yeah, as I say, they'll move on. I'm sure they'll be fine this season. But from our point of view, it's a brilliant win. Keeps that momentum that we've got at the moment. But like I say, at some point the bubble's got to burst, and I do worry that maybe it's going to be Mansfield next week. When I say bubble burst, I don't mean we're necessarily going to lose the game. I just think we've got to drop points at some point. We've got to not have a clean sheet at some point. Louis Barry's got to maybe not score again at some point. Yeah, sorry, I was going to read a message there. It's just been retracted. So yeah, like I say, these things can't keep happening. As brilliant as they are, at some point it is going to end that momentum, and then we've got to find a way and see what level we're at when we lose that momentum. Do we have it in us to bounce back? I'm sure we do. But like I say, it's a long season. We're only 3 games into a 46-game season, so we've still got another 43 games to go. And as well as we've started, it's not going to be plain sailing the whole way. Even last season wasn't plain sailing at times. There were points where I thought, we might have even, dropped out the automatics, sort of March, sort of end of February, like, last season. So it's not going to be plain sailing, and we're not the best team in League One. Let's not forget that we've done very well this season so far, but there's better teams than us. I thought Blackpool were going to be a better team than us, but yeah, obviously that didn't go to plan for them. But like I say, we'll take it. Well, that's going to happen, and it's not. So we have Birmingham levels of. Hang on, I'm going to read that somewhere else. I'm going to show that actually. I'm not used to using StreamYard, so that's new. Well, that's going to happen, and it's not like we have Birmingham levels of expectations on us. No, 100%. I'm just realising I can show people's comments here. This is brilliant. Anyone else spot a young Rodney Trotter lookalike up front for Bristol Rovers? I can't say I did. Probably a bit of an outdated reference for me to understand. No offence. Yeah, I mean, like the guys just said there about Birmingham levels of expectation, I think that's something that's quite good in a way about Stockport County. I know we've spoken about before about the fact that we've kind of gone up the leagues and we've not had the same attention in terms of media spotlight as Wrexham, but in some ways that's been a good thing because it means we've just kind of gone about our business quietly. No one's really putting massive expectations on us because all the attention's been on Wrexham this season. All the attention's on Birmingham. But at some point, I think the attention will come on to Stockport County, and it's how we deal with it when we become the primary team everyone's expecting to sort of, win the league or whatever. I mean, where do people think County are going to finish this season based on the first 3 games? Has the first 3 games, performances and results changed the way that you've looked at the season? And I know some people said mid-table consolidation. Do you change your mind based on how it's gone so far? Do you stick to your guns on that? For me, I said just inside the playoffs, I think I'm going to hold back. I want to stick by that for now. It's probably the only thing I predicted in that video that I am still confident in, to be fair. But yeah, like I say, good win. Wotton's getting goals as well. Obviously got a new deal as well yesterday, so it's going to be interesting. Like I say, we still got a few players to come back. If I'm going to be picky and I'm going to look for problems, I'm still going to say that I don't think we've properly replaced Paddy Madden, but yeah, maybe that's that's a position that someone can grab. Whether that's Michael Mellon coming back from injury, whether that's that's Cal Wotton sort of putting in better performances than he had maybe back end of last season. I'm putting us somewhere between 5th and 10th. Yeah, that's a reasonable expectation. Like I say, I think we'll be changing our expectations and predictions across the season anyway, given the mood, the mood at the time. I mean, like I say, it's a positive moment for us at the moment, but there'll be times when it's not so positive, and it's that's what the EFL offers. It's not always, you don't win every week. That's not going to happen. It's not the Premier League where if you're the top team like Man City where you're going to win every week. No, you can be the top team in League One and still have bad periods in the season. So even if County do something amazing and sort of run away and could be high up the table, we are going to face difficult moments. I just wonder where the first real test is going to come, because we thought Blackpool might have been it, we thought Bristol might have been it today. It hasn't really been that so far. I think Mansfield probably could be the toughest game in the sense that it's a team that knows us fairly well over the last few seasons. So yeah, that's one to keep an eye out for people who go into that one. Like I say, it should be an interesting one. But yeah, I mean, I'm just happy. I mean, Lou Barry's scoring goals for fun. He's a brilliant player to watch every time he picks up the ball on that sort of left-hand side cutting in. You just wonder what he's going to produce next. I thought we moved the ball well as well today. There was a really good moment where we sort of moved the ball really well down the left-hand side. Unfortunately, Barry got cut out on that occasion. We couldn't go and do what I think we would normally go and do, which is have a bit of passing play and get Barry involved, and he'll sort of just finish it off. But yeah, like I say, there's not really too much to talk about at the moment. Everything's just sort of going well. It's there's not really anything that we can add to what we've seen. I was half right. There's not really too much to add. The Cambridge game, relatively simple for us. Blackpool, relatively simple for us. Apart from the first 15-20 minutes today, relatively simple for us. So at the moment, it's been an easy test for us each time. Not really been that much of a test, but at some point it will come, and I'm prepared for that. I'm also I'm also pleasantly surprised about the performance Fevrier is putting in. Yeah, I mean, again, I talked about Callum Camps going under the radar last season and early this season. Jaden Fevrier is a player which has come in this summer, and I think he's someone who's kind of going under the radar because even though he might have been, what was he, our first signing, our second signing of the summer, he seems to be a player which is on the bench a lot. You know, he's been on the bench the first 3 games. He seems to come on and have an impact. Obviously, he got the assist in the first game against Cambridge, a goal off the bench against Blackpool, a decent performance, and could have had a goal himself today as well. So he seems to be a player which has gone under the radar. He surprised me. I think he should have started the game today, but the performance and the result didn't suffer too much by not doing that. So yeah, I do like Jaden February. I'd like to see him start a game. I'd like to see a bit more of him. He looks good in the minutes I see him play. So be interesting to see if we can get see a bit more of him and maybe get a bit more out of his performances, because I think this is someone who could be. I think this is someone who could stat pad League One. I think this is someone who's got goals and assists, in his locker. Any time he gets enough minutes on the pitch, whether that's half an hour, 45 minutes, I reckon he's pretty likely to get a goal or assist. To be honest, the way it's looking at the moment. So very interesting player. I mean that cross as well. What was it? The Cambridge game. That cross into Wootton for the second goal was incredible. I'd love to see more of that kind of stuff going on as well. Like I say, using StreamYard for the first time. Hopefully people can hear me very well, hear me okay and everything. Hang on a minute. If this is a depleted team, then consider how much we will perform with a fit squad. Exactly. That's kind of what I've been saying. It's crazy to think, isn't it? This is what we're doing with. We've pretty much got 25 player squad. At the moment, we've had 8 or 9, 10 out of 10 of them injured. Some key players as well in that. Like our best right back's been injured. Noyle's not going to be back for another 2 or 3 months yet as well. He's a brilliant right back for us. Imagine what he offers us going forward down the right hand side when he's back fit. So yeah, very, very good point here. So if this has been covered late to the stream, how did Ollie Norwood play? I thought he did okay. He had a shot that went just over just over, quite a bit over the bar in the railway end. Don't think he particularly shone for me in terms of, it wasn't clear to me that there was a Premier League player on the pitch, but I thought he did okay. And I think we've got a lot more to see from him. Like I say, it's just his first game. I was surprised he played. I was surprised he started in the first place. But I think he'll be a player that will come good. I think he'll be an interesting signing for us. And if Lewis Bate is injured for a long period of time, this is no doubt going to be the first of many starts for him in a Stockport County shirt in the next few weeks. Ollie did well, but you can see his influence on corner taking. Yeah, he took all the corners, didn't he? I think left and right. I think certainly when I picked up on it, he was taking the corners. I'm guessing he did that from the get-go. So that's an interesting move. Whether or not we've been working on that in training over the last 3 or 4 weeks with him, I'm not too sure. Whether or not we had him, training with us and trialling with us, with the intention of signing him in the first place, I'm not too sure. But that's what I'm saying. At what point did we decide, right, okay, we're going to sign Oliver Norwood? Was that in the last week? Was that, just yesterday? Was that 3 or 4 weeks ago? Because that will affect how we've been training, surely. Like, if he came in 3 or 4 weeks ago and trained with us for, 3 or 4 weeks ago with the intention of him signing, then he would have been more involved in the tactical stuff, the corner taking, all that kind of stuff. But if we only decided we were going to sign him this week, then, how sort of in tune is he with how the team wants to play, and how involved and how much would he have practiced on corners and stuff like that? Very interesting. So think about that. I'm starting to try and show people's comments as much as possible, so apologies if your comment doesn't go on the screen, but I am always reading them out. Do people think Norwood and Powell would form a decent partnership in midfield? Norwood and Powell, I'm not too sure. For me, is Norwood more of a defensive type midfielder? Is he a box to box? I'm not too sure. I mean, for me, Nick Powell, I think his days at County are numbered. I'm saying this as someone who's really excited when he signed last summer. I just don't think it's particularly worked out for him. There's a few rumours going around. Again, I'm not going to say they're true, but a few rumours that there's been incidents on the training ground, and he apparently he's got to apologise to some staff. Not sure how true that is, but if that is true, he was meant to be back involved by now. He was meant to be back from his injury against Blackpool. Then wasn't back available for that game. Hasn't been available for the game today. Is that injury related or is that attitude related? I'm not too sure. But like I say, it's disappointing with Powell. To answer your question, possibly, but I think Powell, I don't think he's got a future in this team. And to be honest, with the way the team's playing at the moment, where does he get in? Because at the moment we've got Will Collar, we've got Norwood. We usually have Lewis Bate. We've got Callum Camps, and then you've got Lewis Fiorini as well, who we brought in from Manchester City, who's been injured. So, and I think he's more of an attacking midfielder type player, from what I've read. So that kind of replaces the Nick Powell position for me, doesn't it? So, yeah, I'm not too sure about Nick Powell's future. Like I said, I'm not sure when he's going to be back. He should have been back by now. I can only see it going one way, and that's him leaving either before the window shuts or in January, and just not really being, involved much between now and then. But yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what kind of partnerships we do build in the midfield. I think it's been interesting that we've pretty much gone unchanged 11 the last 3 games, apart from the one change today as well, because that means that the players are keeping fit, and obviously we've not really been in a position where you can play the same 11 that much, last season. So yeah, very good that. Then again, I suppose on the other side, maybe it's been forced because of the amount of injuries we have. I mean, I thought the bench looked fairly weak today, so yeah, I can kind of see why we've gone unchanged. But I think the right decision would have been to bring in Jaden Fevrier for Jack Diamond, but like I say, the result and the performance didn't suffer, so it's not the end of the world. The far post set play, I think we will see it more often. Yeah, I mean, I always prefer a team to sort of play it near post and sort of either head it towards goal or head it backwards. I mean, Horsfall sort of headed it onto Wootton, didn't he, for the second? But yeah, I think the ball arrived from the far post, didn't it? I think on that one. So yeah, but I mean, I much prefer sort of flick on at the near post usually, but County obviously got other ideas of how to do it, and who am I to say that that's the wrong way to go about it? But yeah, like I say, I think we asked about man the match before. I mean, I think if we go to the top, I've lost it now. So I remember asking the question, someone answered it, but I think I might have lost it. Here we go. It was Nick. Man the match for me was Camps. Other people are welcome to put in their man the matches as well. Like I say, hopefully this is working okay as well, StreamYard, because I've not used this before. So hopefully, like I say, the sound. I did do a brief sound check on it earlier, but I didn't have that much time because it was just before the game kicked off, and I messed around a little bit with it at half time. But yeah, like I say, good win today. Another 3 points on the board. We got the 3 o'clock kickoffs, which are underway now. I've just realised the time, which means I've been live for about 20 minutes, half an hour now, doesn't it? Yeah, 27 minutes. So yeah, I mean, we'll probably call it a day there, actually. But yeah, I mean, I think it's been a decent test using it on StreamYard. It means we shouldn't have the technical issues which we've been having over the last few weeks going forward, which is a relief, I think, for me. And it means we'll see more of this sort of thing happening. To be honest, as well, now that I've started using this and it seems to have gone okay, might be a case where I just go live more often for stuff, like if we sign a player or whatever. And also as well, I've got the option to invite people to this as well. So if anyone ever feels like they want to get involved, on the channel and speak, then yeah, I can have people on as guests, which would be interesting to mix things up a little bit as well. Cheers, stream quality is bang on. Yeah, that's what we want to hear. Good, yeah, because it was first test. Like I say, I was trying to get this, the stream sorted for the game, and it just wasn't working. So yeah, I had this idea that I'd try and use this, and luckily I managed to get it all sorted out just in time for the post match review kind of thing. So yeah, I hope people have enjoyed it. Like I say, brilliant performance. Another few good goals as well, particularly from Louis Barry. Just seems to be stepping up. We will have the match preview for the Mansfield game up later on this week, probably Thursday. Like I say, I won't be at the game, and it's not on Sky either, so I won't be doing any of the live stuff next week. But we will have the match preview up, and I'm sure I'll be doing a match review, early the week after, probably on the Monday or Tuesday, to talk about it. So yeah, hopefully people have enjoyed this. Hopefully people have enjoyed the channel. Like I say, if you are new, do subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next one. We'll see with the match preview ahead of Mansfield next. It'll be on Thursday, I reckon. That's usually the time I'm trying to get them out now as well. So yeah, hopefully people stay tuned in for that one. The first goal in the first 3 games is fantastic. It's brilliant from Lou Barry. He's really impressive at the moment and looking even better than he was at this point last season, which is incredible. Like I say, hopefully people have enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Like I say, match preview coming up later in the week. So thanks for tuning in.